Recently, I decided to keep one of my Albanian street kitten rescues, Albie. And since Mila and I travel full time, he's going to have to get used to moving around pretty quickly. So today, I'm gonna take Albie to a nature cafe and explain to you how I am training him to be comfortable anywhere, right? The first thing we're gonna do is put Albie in his little harness. So about a week ago, I started putting Albie's harness on him and letting him run around the house. The first few times he was bothered by it, but then overall it doesn't seem to bother him too much. Right now he's a little wiggly because he was just playing and I pulled him out of playing with Lushka. But once the harness is on him, he doesn't seem to mind it. Come on, buddy. There we go. I know there's a lot of harness options. I like this kind. It's pretty lightweight. It's not very intrusive. Like, they're very small, right? So the ones that are a little bit thicker around the chest, I don't necessarily like for kittens because they're already little beings anyway. So I always figure like the less things around their body, the better. Okay, go play. Go on. Yeah, look at that big boy in his harness. Look at you. Next, I'm gonna prepare his backpack. So with Mila, now anyways, I just pop her in the backpack and we go. I don't really think about having a lot of extra things, but with a kitten, you need more things. So if you're gonna start backpack training a kitten, here's what I recommend you have on you at all times. Chew-roos, the only power we have over kittens. Always keep a couple of chew-roos on you. Collapsible water bowl, and then a water bottle, you know, so they can make sure they're staying hydrated. An expandable leash in case you want to explore with them. You don't have to have it, but I always do just in case they're getting wiggly in their backpack and they do want to explore. And then wet wipes. You just never know. I feel like I always have wet wipes on me, but sometimes places are sticky. I also, this is optional, I don't have any right now, but pet wipes too. Again, because sometimes places are sticky and their paws get a little crazy. And then, of course, an internal leash to attach into the backpack. This one does have internal leashes, but they're quite small, and I just prefer to have the traditional leash with me instead. So let's get Albie in the backpack and let's get going. One last thing before you put your kitten in their backpack is make sure they don't have to go to the bathroom. I always put Albie in the litter box right before we go, just in case. Oh, he is eating a piece of chicken. You think you maybe need to go? Nope. Okay. Some cats will do their business outside. They'll dig a little hole in the dirt and just go out there. Mila's never done that, and Albie hasn't either. So I always try to give them the option to use the litter box before we go. Okay, now that Albie is harnessed, our backpack is packed. He has tried to go to the bathroom. Let's put him in the backpack. Okay, you ready to go? Here's a little tip I learned from backpack training Mila. Put them in the bag butt first. I don't know why this makes a difference, but I used to, when Mila was a kitten, just kind of toss her in. But I found that she was much less like aggressive and squirmy if I just put her in butt first. So put them in, close the front panel. Oh, hello. And then attach the leash to the harness to make sure that they cannot get out. Before we leave, I always zip the top panel. I let Albie out my shoulder while we're out walking, but I'm always really certain to make sure that there's no cars around or that we're on a super quiet street before I let him do that. So I'm still learning his behaviors, just like he's still training to be in the backpack. You ready to go to the rose garden? You ready to go see the roses? Okay. Okay, so we've been out walking for a little while. It's pretty quiet, to be fair. Like, there's not that many cars on the street. We're also on the sidewalk. It's Sunday morning, so I'm not super worried. So I'm gonna go on ahead and open the top panel and let Albie up on my shoulder. All right, the top panel is open. So if he would like to, he does have the availability to jump up. I think I've said this in Mila videos before. Oh, there he is. Hello, buddy. I never require my animals to be on my shoulder. It is very cute when they do this, but they're not trained to do this. If they get scared and jump back down, in my opinion, that's a good thing. So I like giving them both options. They can be up or they can be in the bag. But Albie seems to really like to be out. Albie is a social being, whereas Mila sometimes likes to be out, but I think also sometimes she just likes to watch too. Oh, there he goes. You back in, buddy? You okay? Okay, hold on, he might be twisted. Let me check. Albie, you a little twisted up? You a little twisted up? No, you're okay. You just had a little panic. Okay, good job, buddy. Oh, you guys, the metal frame like came loose in this backpack and it just feels so much less stable since that happened. It's really frustrating that it's not as steady as it once was. Guys, I almost wonder if the front pack would work better with Albie. When Mila was this age, we did the front pack every now and then. But I think I'm gonna swing the backpack around and see if he likes that better, because he wants to be like up in my neck not necessarily back on my shoulder. Okay, front pack engaged. There's our boy. Yes, what do you think? The front pack works better for you. I'm not a professional. I'm just someone who backpack trained the first cat, and I'm trying to share some wisdom I learned and hopefully make it a little bit easier to backpack train my second cat. But it seems like the front pack is the way to go for Mr. Albie, right? I don't know if you guys can hear this, but he's purring like crazy. He's such a funny little guy. I read online that like male cats can be much more affectionate than female cats, and he seems to always want to be near me, whereas Mila is a little bit more independent. So maybe you're just a front pack guy, huh? So we're coming up to a pretty busy street here, and I am going to zip him back into the bag. That is a benefit of the front pack. Like, you can zip them in and out pretty easily. You don't have to take the backpack off to do it. Even though Albie really wants to be on my shoulder, his safety to me is much more important than his wishes at this moment. For busy streets, always zip them back in. We arrived at the cafe, and Albie was ready for some time out of his backpack. Anytime we arrive somewhere new, as long as it's safe, I let Albie take the lead. Sometimes he wants some extra time in his bag to adjust to the new location. Sometimes he wants to be in my lap. Sometimes he wants to explore. And in the case of the nature cafe, he wanted all three. He started out in his bag. He was a little cautious of everything. And then he moved over to my lap where he felt safe. After some time, he wanted to check the place out. So I kept his leash on him and let him walk around for a while. Then he was rewarded with a churu. And finally, he took a good little nap on my lap. When bringing your kitten out in public, set yourself up for success. Go places where you know they can be out on their leash. Try to find cafes with minimal street noise, and always have an exit plan. On this day, Albie was agreeable, happy, and comfortable. But if he wasn't, we simply would have just gone home. It's not worth their safety or your sanity to struggle with them being out. We are on the walk home now, and we came up the busy street, so Albie is locked into the bag right now. But I'm going to move him to the front and open the top panel so he can come out. But he's just such an agreeable little guy. Like, the noise didn't really seem to bother him. The cafe didn't seem to bother him. Like, yeah, he's just very easygoing. But let's get him out so he can see some stuff as well. And we have the lid open. Hello, Albie. Look at you, big boy. I know one thing. He is going to be worn out when we get home, which is always a win when it comes to taking the kittens out in the backpack. We're home! Yay! What a boy. So that was our little trip to the nature cafe. We hope that you enjoyed this little story. I think if you're looking to train your cat to be comfortable anywhere, the big things are exposure, make sure you're getting them out into noises, consistency, take them out regularly. Set yourself up for success, bring things in their bag that you know they're gonna need, and just accept that not every trip out is going to be perfect, but I promise you, if you just continue working with them, your cat will get comfortable out in public. Thanks so much for watching, and we'll see you really soon, right? Say goodbye, Albie. Do you want to wave goodbye to the people? Goodbye. Goodbye.